I wish they made more director documentaries like this one. Directed by Jake Paltrow and Noah Baumbach, De Palma is an autobiographical documentary about who else but Brian De Palma. That's simply what it is, and simplicity at its best. What the great thing is just these guys sit down and they talk about film. They sit and they talk with Brian De Palma about his early life, his films, everything in between, and it's fascinating. From the start, he begins at his childhood, his friends he met, and really he talks about just some of his early childhood stuff, and from there he begins to talk about each movie he's made, all the ones starting from the very beginning, short films, all the way up until his newest film. And he goes through each one meticulously, talks about different processes as to how they made it, budgets, little secrets and stories from sets. I think what helps make this so interesting is the fact that it's coming straight from the source itself. You have many documentaries that just chronicle step by step a person's life. Nothing's more interesting than when it comes from the source itself. I think that is what's so interesting about this documentary. You just have these three guys talking about film, talking about this one just absolutely acclaimed director, what went through his processes into making the films, the struggles, the triumphs. And De Palma has just had one of the most influential careers as far as movies go. He's done just about every sort of genre there is, and I guarantee you there's at least one or two films that he's made that every person has heard of. Carrie, Dressed to Kill, Blowout, Scarface, The Untouchables, Mission Impossible. I mean, this guy has had an illustrious career, and it's just so fascinating to hear what went into each film, how the studios always tried to screw him, how they thought that everything that he wanted to make was never going to be good enough. And I think what's also awesome about coming straight from the source is you get these stories that you wouldn't hear otherwise, stories that only that person may know, and all the while he's just telling it in an interesting way. This is definitely a film for cinephiles, people who just absolutely love movies. And that's what comes across with De Palma. He just absolutely loves movies, he loves making them, talking about them, and you really have to love movies to care about this. And I think it's just absolutely fascinating how you can just sit there, pick the brain of a person, understand what went into each decision and why some things happen in certain movies, and which leads me to a quote that he said that just stuck with me. Basically, he said that your films become a record of what you didn't do. The film becomes a record. You watch it and you see, I should have done that, I shouldn't have cut corners there, I should have done this, which I find absolutely true. All the while he's making these films, like I said, he gets screwed over by companies, he doesn't get the budget he needs to make the films. Yet this guy always stays down to earth and he stays positive. He loves his craft, he loves making films. And I think what really gauges the fact that this is a good film is it took a director that, while I do like some of his work, I've never been a gigantic fan of, but it really gets you into his filmography, makes you want to check out the stuff that he's done. And now I really feel like I know him as a director and I know all the films he's done, and really makes me a little more fascinated for him in general. This is most likely an incredibly limited release, but if you do get the chance to see it, I definitely recommend it, especially if you're a fan of just film in general. It's just a great viewing experience. With all that being said, what's your favorite De Palma film? Leave a comment down below, let us know what your favorite Brian De Palma film is. Always curious to know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.